multi-core benchmarks, though,
Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Listen, firstly, last class we defined what work was. Work is force dot displacement, right? Second, displacement should be the displacement of the point at which force is applied. Third, work is frame dependent. Fourth, work done by non-conservative plus external forces should be change in total mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So when all can I conserve total mechanical energy? When work done by non-conservative and external forces is zero. And last but not the least, work done by centripetal force will always be zero because it is perpendicular to displacement. That's why centripetal force does not change kinetic energy. I repeat all the 5 points. Anybody with a doubt in any one, do speak up. First point, work is force dot displacement. Work is a scalar quantity. Displacement must be the displacement of the point at which the force is applied. Right? Net total work done will be equal to change in kinetic energy. Work is frame dependent.
Sorry, I didn't get that point.
Which point?
The work is frame dependent.
You and I are sitting inside a train.
Yes, sir.
Your displacement with respect to me is zero.
Yes,
So I
sir.
will report zero work done on you.
Yes, sir.
But somebody standing on the ground will report positive work for you because you are displacing.
Yes, sir.
Right? So work is frame dependent. Sitting in front of you, I will report zero work. Standing on the ground, they will report different work on you because you
Okay,
have
sir.
displacement according to them.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Right? Work done by centripetal force will always be zero because that is perpendicular to the displacement. Work done by centripetal force will always be zero. And work done by non-conservative plus external forces is change in mechanical energy. Change in mechanical energy, and what is mechanical energy? Kinetic energy plus potential energy. Are all the points clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Did we deal with a spring simple pendulum being dropped from one position?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
we know that dynamic equation, right? Now have a look at it. This is called motion in a vertical circle. This theory is important. This is actually the bridging gap between work power energy and circular motion. Today's class is important. All of you will have to concentrate. Motion in a vertical circle. You give some velocity to the bob with a string L. You give some velocity, right? Depending on what the velocity is, you give some velocity, it will come till here. You give greater velocity, it will come till the horizontal position. You give yet greater velocity, it will complete motion in a vertical circle. Now, when this is going in a vertical circle, right, it should complete a circle is our requirement. Let us see what are all the troubles that we will face when we are dealing with motion in a vertical circle. Firstly, this is T, this is mg. This will be mg cos theta. This will be velocity v. I have only two equations. One dynamic equation regarding the center of the circle attraction. First equation will be T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. This is my first equation. T minus mg cos theta is mv square by L. Second equation is conservation of total mechanical energy at this point and this point. Why are you able to conserve total mechanical energy? Work done by non-conservative and external forces is zero. Hence, total mechanical energy will be constant. Non-conservative, I don't have any non-conservative force here. External tension I have got. The tension is perpendicular to the displacement. So work done by tension will be zero. So now when I am conserving total mechanical energy here, I take this to be half mu square plus potential energy I am taking here to be zero. Then the total mechanical energy here is half mv square plus potential energy will be mgh plus mgh. We will write this half mv square plus mg. What will you write h as? This height is L cos theta. L minus L cos theta will be h. L minus L cos theta. This is the standard which hereafter you should start getting accustomed to. L minus L cos theta. Cancelling out m, u square is equal to v square plus 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. This is my second equation. This is my first equation. These are the only two equations I have got with which I have to play with. By the way, what are you in search of? I am in search of minimum velocity that I should give here so that the particle completes at least one circle. I am in search of minimum velocity I should give here so that the particle completes at least one circle. Right? First, take this down, take down both the equations. I'll explain.
सर एक बार बोर्ड दिखा सकते हो? स्क्रीनशॉट ले लूंगा जल्दी से।
एक सेकेंड रुको, ऑब्जर्व दिस फर्स्ट। Observe this movement carefully. Observe this again. So if you people have observed the diagram, what is happening when you're losing the circular track? The tension in the string is becoming zero. The moment the tension becomes zero, it will not follow the circular path. Why? Tension is the main force which provides the centripetal force. The source which is providing centripetal force, if it is lost, the particle will not complete descent.
Sir, why can't mg provide the centripetal force at that point?
Indeed, not sufficient. That's what is happening. We'll show you that.
Okay, sir.
Tension becomes zero, the string will slacken. Once the string slackens, it is no more in a circular path.
Sir, so it will be in a parabolic path, like projectile motion.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Sir?
Wait a minute. Observe this. String slackens, it is no more in a circular path. Tension becomes zero. So when will the body miss the circular path if the tension becomes zero?
When the string is acting against the gravity.
String is acting against, no, it is not acting against the gravity. That happens in this quadrant. String is acting against the gravity, T minus mg cos theta. In this quadrant, tension will never become zero. We'll derive that also. Don't worry. All conditions will be dealt with in today's class for this single situation.
So,
Ah,
so for any velocity, if the bob is given, which is greater than the minimum velocity to be given to the body for completing a circular path, uh, if the velocity which is given to the bob is minimum, that is v square root of v square plus 2gl into 1 minus cos theta.
your question is wrong.
No, sir, I was asking.
This.
No, sir, I
The
was
doubt by
Sir,
asking.
one
default
second.
will be cleared once you listen to this. Have a look. Now, come to the first point. What is your equation here? You said T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. If tension becomes zero, T minus mg cos theta, rather have a look at this. At the topmost point, mg plus tension will provide the centripetal force. Mg plus tension is mv square by L. Your problem is somewhere in the path, if tension becomes zero, it will not follow a circular path. So let tension not become zero. Tension is decreasing, 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 decreasing till it reaches the topmost point. Tension should not become zero. As the tension is decreasing, if it doesn't become zero till it reaches the topmost point and it has got some velocity here, by default, the moment it moves again, tension is positive. It will complete a circle. Your biggest problem is there are two things that can happen. Either tension becomes zero or velocity becomes zero. Velocity becomes zero, out of question. You will not have it in the path itself. It will not cross this point. I'll show you that. Now what I showed you is tension becoming zero. If tension becomes zero somewhere here, it is going in a parabolic path. The string is slacking. I don't want the tension to become zero till it reaches the topmost point. Then it will complete a circuit. So now how do you put this? Tension becomes zero at the topmost point. Tension is decreasing continuously. Why are you taking zero? Take greater than zero, Naya. I want V minimum. Minimum U to be given at the lowermost point so that it completes the circle. That minimum U, when will I get? Decreasing tension should come to a situation where it is zero only at the topmost point. Greater than zero, I'm happy, but that will not be minimum U. Greater than zero at the topmost point, we are happy, but that will not be the minimum U. Now what will V be equal to root over of GL? This should be the velocity at the topmost point for the tension to just to become zero. Greater than zero, velocity should be greater than this. Now I will conserve the total mechanical energy here and here. Why will you conserve here? I have the right to do that. Work done by non-conservative and external forces are zero. So total mechanical energy here, half mu square. Potential energy you are taking to be zero. Topmost point, half mv square. What will potential energy be? Mg into 2L. 2L, the height will be 2 times the length. You took this to be the reference line. Zero potential energy. M and M. U square is V square plus 4GL. GL plus 4GL. If I give velocity of under root 5GL at the lowermost point, tension will not become zero anywhere in the track till it reaches the topmost point. Here tension zero ho gaya, so will it fall? It will not fall. It has got velocity. So by virtue of velocity, it will slightly move ahead and tension is again positive. Tension is again positive. String doesn't slacken. It will complete a circuit. So this is the minimum velocity under root 5GL. Minimum velocity to be given at the lowermost point for it to complete a complete vertical circuit. Firstly, this is case 1. We deal with n number of cases. This class you cannot even blink, concentrate and focus. Ilya, is it clear to all?
Sir, can you explain from the potential energy part again?
This is the potential energy. Here you took the reference line. So it is zero. Here the potential energy will be mgh, mg2h. Kinetic energy is half mv square. Total mechanical energy here, total mechanical energy here, I equated. Who gave you the permission to do that? Work done by non-conservative and external forces are zero.
Sir, tension is an external force, so won't.
Tension and velocity are
Sorry,
perpendicular.
yes, I got it.
Work done will be zero.
Yes.
How do you know the tension?
Pardon?
How do you know the tension won't become zero before it reaches the highest point?
At the topmost point, you took tension to be zero. So anywhere other than that, tension is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing as it is going up. Here, if it is zero, everywhere else it will be greater than zero. Because tension is decreasing as it is going up.
So why, sir?
I showed you just now here. I'll calculate that, don't worry. Either way, I'll calculate. Tension is decreasing as it is. See, I'll put it the other way now. As this is going up, velocity is decreasing.
Yes, sir.
Centripetal force is decreasing.
So, yeah.
mv square by r. mv
Yeah,
square
yeah.
by r. Right?
Yes, sir.
If velocity is decreasing, mv square by r is decreasing. The force which is providing the centripetal force also is decreasing.
So, but mg cos theta is becoming lesser. That's why mv square by L will decrease, right?
If listen, put it the other way around. I'll calculate it mathematically and I'll show you. Take it down till here.
Okay, sir.
So is tension a non-conservative force?
Tension is an external force. When you wrote conservative, non-conservative, external, tension comes into the category of external forces.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Huh.
at the topmost point, sir, tension becomes zero. Then the centripetal force will not get affected.
mg is providing the required centripetal force. Hence it is yet in the circular track.
Okay, sir.
mg is mv square by L.
And the velocity is increasing or decreasing till the topmost point?
Oh, bhai sahab, when you throw a body upwards, velocity will increase or decrease when it is going up.
Decrease.
Huh.
Okay.
Sir, at the topmost point, we took tension to be zero so that we are confirmed that anywhere between the path, the tension is greater than zero.
Naturally, which I'll prove mathematically. The tension gradually is decreasing. At what height tension can become zero, I'll calculate.
Sir, can we also say that way, like if tension becomes zero before it reaches the topmost point, this equation won't hold true as the particle is not in a circular path anymore?
Obviously, if the tension becomes zero, it will not be in a circular path.
So the equation mg is equal to mv square by L won't hold true, right? So we can say that way that tension does not become zero before it reaches the highest point.
No, it can become zero before it reaches the highest point. Wait a minute, take this down, I'll explain. Yeah, this velocity is the velocity when the bob is at the topmost point. The velocity v which you calculated is the velocity when the bob is at the topmost point.
So,
all of you switch off your mics. Let the topic be over. All your doubts by default will be clear.
okay, sir.
Done, sir.
Now, this is a standard
2 minutes,
result.
2 minutes.
Remember, velocity to be given at the lowermost point for the body to complete a vertical circle. Now listen. You have two problems to deal with. Tension becoming zero and velocity becoming zero. Which will happen first? And where will it happen? Somebody's mic is on, please switch it off. Right? Velocity becoming zero and tension becoming zero. Where will it happen? Which will happen first? Right? Watch out for this. Firstly, I write the dynamic equation. T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square by L. T minus mg cos theta is mv square by L. This velocity here is v. Here also I use the same symbol for the previous derivation. Keep this in mind, this velocity are not the same. This is the velocity at this point, this is the velocity at this point. Right? Use V1 and V2 if you have a confusion. For me right now I am taking this velocity. Or you draw the diagram separately again without this. Right? Or I'll remove this temporarily so that you have no confusion. Now total mechanical energy here and total mechanical energy here, I equate half mu square will be equal to half mv square plus mgl into 1 minus cos theta. This is what you said, total mechanical energy here and total mechanical energy here. You cancelled out m. U square is v square plus 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. These are the two equations that you have dealt with. And you have only these two equations. Now you are interested to know at what height will the velocity become zero and at what height will the tension become zero. First one, height at which velocity becomes zero. Height at which velocity becomes zero. I put 0 in this equation. U square is 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. You put V0, right? U square by 2gl is equal to 1 minus cos theta. What is cos theta? This is L minus H. L minus H. The total length is L. This is the height H. So L minus H by L. See if you are convinced. Cos theta is this adjacent side by hypotenuse. This is L minus H. H is the height. This will become L minus L plus H by L. This will be H by L. Cross multiply or cancel out 1L. U square will be equal to 2GH. Have a look at this. H will be equal to U square by 2G. H is equal to U square by 2G. This is the height at which velocity becomes zero. All you have done is simplification. Put V equal to 0. Substituted the value of cos theta as L minus H by L. Took LCM. Cancelled out L. H is the height at which velocity becomes zero. Now I will calculate the height at which tension becomes zero. We'll compare which happens first and how it happens. Take it down till here.
Sir, didn't we derive this previously in projectile as well?
अब projectile की क्या चिंता है आपको? पहले ये तो करो. This has got nothing to do with that. You are finding out the height at which velocity becomes zero. This point is what you are calculating.
All right. And sir, for the first dynamic equation, I'm not able to get that. How did you do T minus mg cos theta? While in the previous
T minus mg cos theta will provide the required centripetal force.
But previous case में आपने why did you do mg plus t?
Because the body was there. See the direction of the forces.
All right. So sorry, sir. Sure. We'll see you next time.
Cos theta is the adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is the adjacent side? L minus H. This is the adjacent side, L minus H by L. That's what I substituted as cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Can I rub this part of the board? Nishant, write quickly. Now, I am interested to know the height at which velocity will become zero. Height at which velocity will become zero. We have just now done tension becoming zero. Now tension becomes zero. We already found out the height at which velocity becomes zero. Now we need to find out the height at which tension becomes zero. Right? Tension becomes zero. Minus mg cos theta is L minus H by L should be equal to mv square by L. I put tension equal to 0 minus mg cos theta is L minus H by L. Cancelling out these two. Cancelling out 1L minus GL minus GH plus GH is equal to V square. Can I calculate V square from here? V square from here and substitute here. Have a look. This is minus GL plus GH. V square is equal to U square minus 2GL into 1 minus cos theta again L minus H by L. I'm substituting cos theta twice. In fact, I should have calculated this, found out cos theta and substituted once. No big deal. V square I am substituting from here. U square minus this. U square minus this. 2GL into 1 minus. What is the value of cos theta? L minus H by L. Have a look at what we are getting. Minus GL plus GH U square minus 2G into, I took LCM. This denominator L and numerator L I cancelled out. L minus L plus H. L minus L will go, plus H is what I am left with. Right? Bring this to the left. 3GH is U square plus GL. H is equal to U square plus GL by 3G. This is the height at which tension becomes zero. What have you calculated? Height at which tension becomes zero. I put T equal to 0 and just to simplify. Cos theta is substituted, cancelled out M, cancelled out L. V square here I substituted from here. U square minus 2GL into 1 minus cos theta, resubstituted cos theta and just simplified. This is the height at which tension becomes zero. Now let us analyze which will happen first. Take it down till here. Ayush, put your hand down. Let me complete the topic. Your doubt will be cleared by default. This was the height at which velocity became 0. I call it h1. h2 is u square plus gl upon 3g. Height at which tension became 0. This is what you have derived till now. Height at which velocity becomes 0. This was u square by 2g. Am I right? Am I right? h1 is u square by 2g. Height at which velocity becomes 0. h2 is the height at which tension will become 0. Can I rub the board? Now listen. Which will happen first? Here, h1 is less than h2. Velocity becomes 0 before tension. If h1 is less than h2, if this height is lesser than this, you gave some velocity, its velocity will become 0 before tension becoming 0. So we put the inequality. U square by 2g is less than u square plus gl by 3. Cross multiply. 3u square is less than 2u square plus 2gl. U square is less than 2gl. U is lesser than under root 2gl. If you give a velocity lesser than under root 2gl at the lowermost point, velocity becomes 0 before tension. Velocity becomes 0 before tension. This is the velocity you should give, less than under root 2gl. Then velocity becomes 0 before tension. Vice versa. If h2 is lesser than h1, if h2 is lesser than h1, listen to this very carefully. h2 is lesser than h1. Tension becomes 0 before velocity. Then tension becomes 0 before velocity. Right? h2 is lesser than h1. This should be lesser. U square plus gl by 3g should be lesser than h1. U square by 2g. 2u square plus 2gl is lesser than 3u square. Right? U should be greater than under root 2gl. If at the lowermost point I gave a velocity greater than under root 2gl, tension becomes 0 before velocity. Under root 2gl has so much of a significance. ध्यान से सुनिए. I'll rub this part of the board. A 2gl इतना significant है, तो if I give under root 2gl, what will happen? Have a look at it. If I give under root 2gl, half mu square, right, will be equal to half m 2gl. I gave 2gl velocity. Equate it to mgh. It will turn out to be h is equal to L. That means the bob will come here. If I give under root 2gl, the bob will come here. Right? Because h is equal to L. What happened to tension? If I give under root 2gl, velocity becomes 0. So tension is equal to mv square by L. That is also 0. So if I give under root 2gl velocity at the lowermost point, both will come till here, and tension and velocity both will become 0 simultaneously. Now listen attentively. I'll summarize whole of the result, but listen carefully. If I give greater than under root 2gl, it must go into this quadrant. Greater than under root 2gl means it must go into the first quadrant. And wahan par you are telling me, if greater than under root 2gl, tension becomes 0 before velocity. So as soon as it comes into this quadrant, velocity will not become zero. Tension will become zero first. Thereafter, it will leave the circular track. So all you have to protect is tension not becoming zero till it goes to the topmost point. If it crosses this quadrant, tension is decreasing at a faster rate than velocity. Tension will become zero before velocity. U is under root greater than under root 2gl. That means it will cross this particular quadrant. If it crosses this quadrant here, the tension will become zero before velocity. If it doesn't become zero till it goes to the topmost point, it will complete a circle. I'll summarize whole of this, take it down till here. At under root 2gl, if I give under root 2gl, Bob will come till here. If I give under root 2gl velocity, Bob will exactly come to the horizontal position. Ironically, velocity becomes zero. Tension is the only force providing centripetal force, so that also becomes zero. Both tension and velocity will become zero at the horizontal position if I give a velocity of under root 2gl at the lowest point. For all potential energy calculations, I am taking this as the reference line. This will be zero potential energy. From here, I am going up to any particular height. Suppose I give under root 2gl velocity at the lowermost point. I put 2gl here. I'm equating into mgh and I'm finding out the height at which height to which it reaches. Height to which it reaches means when I equate it to mgh, m and m will go, 2 and 2 will go, g and g will go. I'm getting h equal to L. So when velocity becomes zero, now when I equated kinetic energy to potential energy, implies here the kinetic energy is zero. So velocity is zero. I found out the height to which it rises. Velocity is zero at this point. And at this point, only tension provides centripetal force. mg's component will come perpendicular. So tension is mv square by r. So both tension and velocity will become zero. Let me summarize this result. All of you observe carefully. You give a velocity lesser than under root 2gl. What will happen? The bob will not reach this point. It will come somewhere here. If you give under root 2gl, it will come to here. You give velocity lesser than under root 2gl. So it will remain in the fourth quadrant. Velocity becomes zero before tension. It will keep oscillating in the fourth and the third quadrant. Velocity becomes zero. It will keep oscillating this way. What if velocity is under root 2gl? It comes till here. Tension becomes zero. Velocity becomes zero simultaneously. Right? What if velocity given is greater than under root 2gl, lesser than under root 5gl, greater than under root 2gl, it will cross this particular point. You will come into this quadrant. Here, tension becomes zero, velocity does not become zero, it will go in the form of a projectile. Tension becomes zero, you have calculated this. Tension becomes zero, but velocity doesn't become zero. It will go in the form of a projectile. And because velocity is greater than under root 2gl, it will cross this point. In the first quadrant, it can never happen that velocity becomes zero before tension. Tension will become zero. Hence, in the first derivation, I took tension not becoming zero till it reaches the topmost point. Because I'm damn sure velocity will not become zero. We calculated that for velocity to become zero before tension, h1 should be lesser than h2. I'm getting velocity lesser than under root 2g. Here, tension will become zero before velocity. I'm getting the initial velocity given here greater than under root 2g. Greater than under root 2gl, it will cross this point. And in this quadrant, I don't have the tension of verifying if velocity becomes zero. First tension will become zero. Right? From there, it will go in the form of a projectile motion. What if I give a velocity of under root 5gl? At the topmost point, velocity is under root gl and tension just becomes zero. It will complete a circle. Greater than under root 5gl, it will keep going about in a circle with a velocity here greater than under root 2gl. If I give greater than under root 2gl, tension doesn't become zero anywhere. Tension doesn't become zero anywhere if I give velocity greater than under root 5gl. Please observe every inch of what we have done till now in the last 1 hour. I believe I have read all your doubts. I believe all your doubts will be cleared with this. It is just so that you people don't have the patience to wait. Now one student's doubt, have a look at it. When it is in the fourth quadrant, your equation was tension minus mg cos theta is mv square by r. You took the same equation even when the bob goes into the first quadrant. Cos theta will take care of it. Theta will be greater than 9. See, when this bob is going this way, the equation which I wrote here, t minus mg cos theta, same equation I have taken even for this. Why? Because cos theta will take care of it. Theta is greater than 90. Second quadrant, cos theta will become negative. That's the beauty in the mathematical part of it. String will become taut again when the bob falls into the circular path. When the bob falls into the circular path, here the string will again become taut. That's why I showed you that video. Now all of you see that video again, you will be able to correlate well. I'll show you that. Wait 1 second. This situation is when I give initial velocity less than under root 2 GL. This is when I give a velocity less than under root 2 GL. When I give velocity greater than under root 2 GL. Under root 5 GL. It will not come to rest at the topmost point. Remember that. Here it will have velocity of under root GL. When I give velocity of under root 5 GL. Just wrote the equations here. Naturally, tension is decreasing. If I give under root 5 GL, tension will be decreasing in this quadrant. And then at the topmost point, it becomes 0. The moment it moves again, tension will be increasing. When it comes to the lowermost point by conservation of energy, it will have the same velocity. So tension will again increase. So as it is going up, tension is also decreasing, velocity is also decreasing. Which happens first is what we have dealt with. It depends on the velocity you give at the lower bottom. Give greater than under root 2 GL, then in this quadrant, tension becomes 0 before velocity. Give lesser than under root 2 GL, in this quadrant, velocity becomes 0 before tension. When V is under root 2 GL, V is under root 2 GL, the bob is coming till here. What is the kinetic energy you have given? Half m 2 GL. To what height will it go? mgh. H is equal to L. It comes here. That means kinetic energy here is 0 because I equated the kinetic energy at the lower bottom to the potential energy. When I give kinetic energy and equate it to the potential energy, that means that the topmost point velocity will be 0. Right? So this is the height to which it rises. At this height, h is equal to L. The bob is in the horizontal position. mg is in the downward direction. So component of mg cannot provide the required centripetal force. Only tension should be in a position to provide. But velocity became 0. So velocity became 0 means tension is equal to mv square by L should be 0. For your information, whenever the bob is in the horizontal position in any of the situations, I gave a velocity 5 under root 5 gl. So somewhere down the lane, the bob will come here. Here, who is providing the centripetal force? Only tension. mg cannot provide any centripetal force here. mg is in the downward direction. Its horizontal direction should provide the required centripetal force. Only tension. Here also, this is going into the first quadrant. That means it is crossing this point. At this point, who provides the centripetal force? Only tension. Component of mg is 0. And when I give under root 5 gl, please remember one thing. It goes to the topmost point, and at the topmost point, it is not at rest. If it is at rest, it will fall. It has under root gl velocity. The moment it moves slightly, tension is again not 0. Tension is again increasing. When it comes back to the lowermost point, tension will come back to the original value. Now you people understand why we introduced work energy theorem to complete circular motion. Circular motion is not yet over. The subtopic is huge. Take this down. Now Khush from Andheri, you're testing my patience here. Right? Today you're asking me a vector this way, its component in the perpendicular direction, why is it 0? mg ka component you are asking me in this direction, why it is 0? Khush from Andheri, what do I tell you? When you resolve a vector perpendicular to its direction, it should be 0. We learned this when you were born. Abhi पूछ रहे हो, why will the component of this in the perpendicular direction be 0? Om says the screen is blurred. Is that the case? The other people are saying it's clear. Om, that means the problem is with you. Glare ka, there is one problem here. I changed my phone, and in the present generation phones, the cameras are auto detecting. I tried to remove the option of auto detecting. I did everything in that possible phone, but somehow it yet has got that catch. That's why I'm trying to maintain distance from the camera, or I'm standing out of the camera. People are typing insensible doubts here. Ashutosh, what happens when h becomes more than twice the radius? Ashutosh, you're either playing or you're a spanner. Bob is going in a circular track. How will the height of the bob be greater than 2r? Or you should cut the string. Now you think you have asked a very good doubt, or you're playing. You're wasting your time. Please don't do that. Use some common sense. When the bob is going in a circular path, the maximum height to which it can go is only 2r. I again repeat this. Have a look at this. If I give a velocity lesser than under root 2 GL, the bob will not come to this particular position. So then the bob is either in the first quadrant and third quadrant oscillating this way. Because for this velocity, we realize that velocity becomes zero before tension. Tension didn't become zero. So particle will be in a circular track. Right? Suppose I give a velocity here equal to under root 2 GL, it will reach the horizontal position. Here, both tension and velocity will simultaneously become zero. Suppose I give a velocity greater than under root 2 GL, but lesser than under root 5 GL. The bob will cross this particular point. It will go into the first quadrant. And here we are aware that tension becomes zero before velocity. We derived this. Velocity greater than under root 2 GL at the lowermost point, bob will go into the first quadrant. Here tension becomes zero. So it will leave the circular track and goes into this. What if I give under root 5 GL? Tension becomes zero at the topmost point only. Till it goes to the topmost point, tension doesn't become zero. Velocity will be under root GL. So it completes a circle. Greater than under root 5 GL, it will complete a circle with tension not becoming zero anyway. Greater than under root 5 GL, I have not drawn on the board. I am drawing it here. After that, you have one more case. U is greater than under root 5 GL. What will happen? Here, velocity is greater than under root GL. Tension is greater than 0. Tension doesn't become zero anyway. The body will keep going about in a circle. After case 4, please write case 5. Velocity greater than under root 5 GL. It will complete a circle. It will keep going about in a circle. Tension will not become zero anywhere in the path. You give under root 2 GL, the bob will come to this particular point. You conserved energy and you found out the height to which it rises. Right? You conserve energy and you found out the height to which it rises. At this height, you realize that it is coming to the horizontal position. At the horizontal position, mg provides no centripetal force. It's only tension. Tension will be mv square by L. And V becomes 0. One sincere request to all of you people after Diwali. Please stop sharing these links with spammers. Kya doubts पूछते यार? Insensibility to the peak. We are trying to make a beautiful concept sensible. And there will be idiots who are asking very, very, very weird things here. What if the bob evaporates its sense? Bob हवा में evaporate हो जाए. Why do you give the links to the spammers? आपका खुद का time waste कर रहे हो. It's high time you people understand that this is serious job being done. Something beautiful is being explained with lot of patience. Do not test our patience. Right? You have to learn ultimately. We have to teach ultimately. Right? You better understand that this is not the way you treat yourself. खुद का भी नुकसान कर रहे हो, पूरा क्लास का भी नुकसान कर रहे हो, हमारा भी नुकसान कर रहे हो. We are slowing down because of these dirty doubts. We are slowing down. कहाँ तक जाए? To what extent should we slow down? There is a lower limit even for that, right? You cannot slow down beyond the limit. JEE, you have to complete the syllabus. This is the month of November. By next November, your syllabus should be over. At this rate, I don't see that. You people cooperate, the job will be done. I alone cannot complete the syllabus. Your cooperation is very essential. You give to the spammers and they ask you, what if the height is greater than 2R? What if the bob evaporates? What if the string, kya bolu ab? Is there any sense in what they're asking? Oof, very depressing to see that. We'll continue with this in the next class. The topic is not over. There's a lot to be done, but this is not the way we can go ahead. You people, please understand that you are on a serious job. You are playing with your lives. Right? Wish you all a happy Diwali. What do I do with 15 minutes with doubts like this? Rain is saying we have another 15 minutes, sir. Look at the doubts that they're asking. Bob evaporates into the air. Kuch bhi. Happy Diwali, all of you. And God give you some common sense in Diwali. Stop sharing these links with spammers here.